Yes folks, hello and welcome back to Relaxing Woodshop. Of course, my name is David. Now, before we get into the video this week, we actually have a few wee things to go through. First of all, just with my work, they were doing a bit of a clear out and they left some aluminium strips that they were going to put into the metal skip. Now, normally people would just turf that out and think there's nothing else to use them for. I myself decided to use them to upgrade the miter station because, as you probably know, there was two big large bits of wood on each side, which was fine, but because the wood was starting to warp a wee bit because we're going through a lot of heat at the moment, I thought to myself, what better than to put the aluminium strips down and measure them and straighten them and cut them, etc, etc. So I'll take you a wee quick walk around that. As you can see, that really straightens the line up, also gives more access to the cupboards behind. Perfectly aligned and adjusted here. There's literally no gap in between there at all. And then of course the stop dead at the tops. And again, run down this side, perfectly aligned here. And then the cut just there. Now, I've made this wee jig myself, which is just a matter of sliding to adjust the measurements off the piece of wood that I need. Lock it in place. And then that stops any movement so I can cut repeatedly. So that's a cracking wee idea there. So it is. So yeah, I think it turned out very well for just the two wee bits of aluminium. So yeah, I think that turned out pretty well just for something so simple and cost effective, of course. Now the second thing is, as you know, Christopher and I are two wee characters. Well, he's a big character and I'm a wee character. And we like to do bits and bobs together. So for the first time ever, we went clay pigeon shooting. And it was kind of our first time in doing a wee bit of shooting, and we thought to ourselves, we'll actually make a wee game out of it. So the guy that helped us out put us on trial to see with 50 shots how many clay pigeons we could actually shoot with the shoots. So I'm going to let you see first me. Well. And now we're going to see Christopher. So, out of the 50 shots each on our very first time, Christopher got 10 out of 50. David got 24 out of 50. So, we had a great time, indeed we did. And of course, I won the wee thingamajigger, what's it called? Clay pigeon, sorry about that. So, now, let's get into the sword, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a barbarian style sword, okay? So it's going to be substantially long, probably a good size, and we're going to do different types of wood for the handle. We're going to turn the handle and all, make it really nice. So let's go through the ingredients and the wood that we're going to use. So the wood we're using this week, we're doing 4 different types of wood, okay? So we're using a good old-fashioned 4x2, and we're going to use that for the cross of the sword itself. I'm sure there's a proper name for it. Then we're going to use for the main part of the handle a beautiful piece of paducah, extremely dense and heavy wood, so that'll give the bottom end of it a good weight when swinging, of course. And then of course we'll have a very light piece of wood just for the bottom butt at the bottom, and again we'll turn that and shape that for a nice end to the bottom of it. And the main bit itself, so we've got this very large piece of timber, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut off a bit of the knot at the bottom, and then we'll measure it up a good wee bit and then shape the sword as well. And we do want to make it sharp in terms, well, not sharp like metal terms, but sharp enough to make it look good, and maybe put a wee groove up the center of the sword itself. So let's get started. So with this piece of wood, what we're actually going to do with this piece of wood here is at this section here, rather than wasting a piece of this wood, we'll measure this bit up the side here and up the side here, and that will be the center shaft that'll go up into the handle itself, and then we'll run across then the actual blade. Haven't just decided the exact length, but I want to be long enough that it looks substantial there. So let's shape this out. White float. Well, folks, that is us for another week. Now, before we go, Christopher's come in.
Yep, back from a camping.
He was camping, so he was, yeah, he gets to do. Well, guess what you missed? Hold on.
Hey.
So what we have is the first half of the what do you call that? That's the blade part, isn't it? The blade part. So we've got the blade part done, Christopher. As you can see, it's quite sharp around those edges. Obviously, we need to sand the whole thing down, and then we need to then put the handle and all on that. So, anything else to say, Christopher?
It's my sword when it's finished, by the way.
When did that happen?
It's been said.
It's been said.
Yeah, thank you for all the subscribers. What are we on to?
Yes, guys, thank you so much. You listened to what we were asking in waves and buckets, because we had 169 subscribers. We were begging for 170. Mm-hmm. Somebody pulled out on us, brought us down to 168, and then the past week we were now at 175. So we've only 25 now left before Christmas.
A new threshold.
A new threshold. And then guess what happens when you get to 200?
250.
And guess what happens when you get 250? What on earth? That was the last time round.
I'm tired.
You're tired. So guys, look, thank you so much for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week
On the Relaxing Wood Shop.
Bye guys.
Bye bye.